For about the first 20 years of my life, I spent most of my time watching cattle graze, and for a lot of the time watching grass grow. So when people say that was about as exciting as watching grass grow, I think that's pretty exciting. When an animal walks into a pasture or walks into a part of a pasture, they're confronted with multiple plants and multiple plant species. And they go through a series of decisions that they make about which one of those is best, including how close am I to it, how does it taste, you know, what is it I'm looking for, how big a bite can I get. But at some point, they actually focus in on one plant and they graze that plant. And then what we really want to know is how heavily do they graze it, and then what happens to that plant after they graze it. We've done a lot of really detailed and precise work on individual plants and individual plant species. And what we're able to do with that is we're able to look out there at a plant community or a collection of those plants and predict with pretty good certainty which plants the animals are going to eat, how much they're going to eat, depending on how long we leave them out there. And if we know a little bit about how much it's rained and the soil moisture and so forth, we know how that plant's going to regrow. So we can provide that information to ranchers and to extension agents and NRCS technical assistance people that work with ranchers to say, okay, if you want your animals to perform in a certain way, this is the stocking rate. If you want to manage for wildlife habitat, put your animals out there at this time of the year, put this many animals out there. So it all depends on what people want to accomplish with their grazing animals on their rangeland. And that's kind of where we start. We always start out with the objective and say, what is it that you want out of this piece of ground? And then we can design a grazing system or a grazing strategy that'll meet those objectives. We're pretty confident that almost anywhere, especially in the western U.S., but almost anywhere in the world, we can essentially come up with designer plant communities using livestock as grazing tools. My vision has always been that those people will be able to get a hold of the information quickly, and they can understand what it is, and they can see that it's relevant to the decisions that they have to make. So the best that I can do is provide that information to them when they need it and in a format where they can use it immediately.